Federation, the worldwide leader in sports entertainment.
Celebrated as the world's most famous arena, it has served as more than a proving ground for the World Wrestling Federation. The venue has championed itself as the marquee for greatness.
Billy Graham retains the heavyweight championship against the
Galvanized in championship glory, it echoes with a legacy of performances which have evolved into an historic contest of can you top this?
Oh, look out! Andre with another big chop. Backlund did not submit. Arnold Skolin threw something into the ring.
From the 17 consecutive sellout matches which pitted Bruno Sammartino against Gorilla Monsoon to the aerial artistry of Superfly Jimmy Snuka. The World Wrestling Federation history has been celebrated here, often with a slam heard round the world. Internationally charged with celebrity status, the World Wrestling Federation redefined sports entertainment in this building. From the moments of bliss to the bruising ballet that has been unleashed. Through comebacks.
Red hot, ready to electrify this capacity crowd. And everyone, I mean everyone on their feet, and here he comes.
Controversy.
Arnold Skolin, knowing that Bob Backlund got quit, threw the towel in. I can't believe it.
Eventually, even this arena became too confined to house the unbridled arsenal of talent under one roof. Last Monday night, the WWF stepped out of the shadow of its historic past and took a giant step toward the new millennium as a sold-out crowd packed Madison Square Garden for its first ever Raw is War, where we saw a superstar return.
Now look out, here we go. What? Paul River Pump coming up here.
A vicious attack.
Helmsley from behind, and Michaels with a tear out of it. Another shot. Michaels, it's a trap. It was a setup.
An astonishing debut.
And look at Mr. Bang Bang. This is Foley's baby boy. He's crawling away from the carnage.
A stunner heard round the world.
You can kiss my
The power of the dark side.
Oh, no! The Undertaker has Michaels at heart! A double toe slam! A double toe slam!
And the continued reign of a champion.
Your winner and still World Wrestling Federation champion, Bret Hitman Hart.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to WWF New York. Jim Ross and Jim Cornette are here at ringside.
Their opponents from Puerto Rico, at a total combined weight of 489 pounds, representing Los Boricuas, Savio and Miguel.
Tag team action will kick it off for us here on WWF New York, and Mr. Cornette, Savio, Vega, who resides part-time in the South Bronx, and his partner Miguel Pérez, whose father competed in the old Madison Square Garden, are in for quite a tussle here with these two big Blackjacks.
Well, the Blackjacks have history in Madison Square Garden, too, because after all, the original Blackjacks, Lanza and Mulligan, were WWF Tag Team Champions, competed many times in Madison Square Garden, took down a lot of top competition. Of course, they never faced Miguel's father because, after all, Miguel Pérez Sr. and Argentina Rocca were the tag team champions about 1959.
That from our resident historian, James E. Cornett, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much. And by the way, I'm thinking of buying a summer home in the South Bronx alongside Savio. I was wondering if you wanted to do one of those timeshare deals with me.
Well, I'll consider that. Side headlock applied by Big Blackjack Bradshaw and Miguel Pérez, who started off for their respective teams here. Well, I'll tell you what, folks, it's great to be back in the States. I want to thank Michael Cope for setting in for me here last week as I was in jolly old England for one night only.
Well, I'll tell you what, Michael Cole's a whole lot lighter to carry than you are, JR.
Well, thank you very little.
You're welcome even less.
Miguel Pérez trying to move around this big Blackjack Bradshaw, who certainly reminds me of the legendary WWF star Stan Hansen, the man that broke Bruno Sammartino's neck with the lariat. And Miguel Pérez, James E., doing what I think he's got to do to survive here, and that's utilize his quickness advantage.
He's got to stick and move. He's got to stay away from the big man. He's got to do things like that. Beautiful combination, reversal, keeping him tied up for Savio Vega to come in. And, you know, JR, while you were in Europe, I know you witnessed a lot of great things in one night only, including that big European title change.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Shawn Michaels, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, oh, what a foot. And Ravishing Rick Rude did not endear themselves to the Hart Foundation or the Hart family in general.
Nor did China as well, because she was in on it.
Oh, yeah.
And now it seems like Shawn and his group are men without countries because they've got just about everybody ticked off.
And there's a lateral press there by Blackjack Wyndham on Savio Vega. Well, I'll tell you one thing, James E. Shawn Michaels is the new European champion, but he's about as controversial these days as Marv Albert. Of course, in a more physical, well, a different physical kind of way. You know what I mean.
Well, Shawn Michaels doesn't have the appetite, but he certainly has the hunger for gold and championships and glory.
Tremendous right hand knocking Savio Vega down by Blackjack Wyndham. Got a great broadcast for you here this week on WWF New York. Vader and the Patriot take on the Godwinns. We'll see if Vader and the Patriot can coexist here this week.
That'll be interesting.
The DOA will be in tag team action against a new look Truth Commission.
That's right, I understand they've got a new member.
And high cross body. Savio Vega reaching back, grabbing the leg. Near fall situation, folks. We'll take it. Oh, he's in trouble. We'll be right back.
Survivor Series Super Super.
Survivor Series Super Suppers. Someday. Come on. Tell me who it is. Survivor what?
Survivor Series Super Supper Sweepstakes!
What's so hard to say about the Survivor Series Super Supper Sweepstakes, JR?
I don't know. And I do know that Blackjack Wyndham has got Savio Vega up in a suplex. And there's a near fall. Folks will be giving you more information on the Survivor Series Super Supper Sweepstakes in the weeks to come, presented by Milton Bradley's Karate Fighters.
You didn't say as quick as I did.
And there's a good reason for that. I don't think I can say it any faster. Wyndham taking a shortcut there, raking the face of Savio Vega. And now Wyndham tags in Big Bradshaw. Bradshaw, 6'6", 310 pounds. Big, rough Texan. And certainly you got to watch for that lariat from Bradshaw. He can take your head off with it.
And so far the power of the Blackjacks has been, but the speed of the Boricuas.
Sunset flip by Savio Vega.
The power of the Blackjacks has been keeping them in firm control, but the speed of the Boricuas can change the tide of the match at any minute.
We certainly want to thank all the great fans that joined us this past Monday night in Madison Square Garden. Oh, what a spinning heel kick by Savio Vega. And Bradshaw somehow is able to make the tag to Blackjack Wyndham, who goes down with the elbow. It was as festive and exciting and electrifying atmosphere as many of us have ever experienced, thanks to all the great fans in the New York City area. Savio Vega able to counter Wyndham. Wyndham and Bradshaw look a lot alike sometimes.
Well, they look so much alike, it's hard for even the referee to tell sometimes, especially when their hair's in their face, and there's Savio makes the tag to Miguel Pérez.
Miguel Pérez now has got a stick and move, as Jim Cornette mentioned earlier. Bradshaw misses the lariat. There's a drop kick by Pérez.
He moved and he stuck and he sticks again.
Miguel Pérez has quickened the pace here, but Bradshaw counters. And Miguel with a Hurricane Rana takeover. And Wyndham interrupted the count.
Big right fist to the back of the head, and now Pérez is stunned, and Savio was kicked in the back, and he's down on the ground. Wait a minute. Look, JR down the runway. The other Boricuas.
It's Jesus and Jose. The other two Boricuas, and Wyndham on the outside. Bradshaw rolled up on a near fall. Wyndham out there with Jose and Jesus. Here comes Savio.
Wait a minute, look up Bradshaw. No!
Savio spinning heel kick. And Pérez gets the 3. Wyndham didn't even see what happened.
He was distracted by the other two Boricuas. Bradshaw was ready for the power bomb, and Savio Vega with the spinning heel kick. Pérez followed up with a jackknife, and the Blackjacks have lost it out of nowhere.
Well, folks, let's take you back and show you what happened in the controversial European Championship matchup from the sold-out NEC in Birmingham, England last Saturday night. It was the irrepressible, incomparable Shawn Michaels making a huge challenge for the title.
The champion, the British Bulldog, was accompanied in the ring by his cancer-stricken sister, Tracy, to whom he dedicated the match, and also witness to this historic battle were the Bulldog's wife, Diana, and the rest of the Smith family.
The ring was constructed on top of a riser for better viewing access and would come into play during this matchup. As the Bulldog was on the riser, he grabbed Shawn Michaels for the running power slam, but the Bulldog's right leg slipped off the riser. That gave Rick Rude, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and China the opportunity, while Michaels had the referee back in the ring, to really do a number on the Bulldog's injured knee.
Well, Michaels then wreaked even further havoc by ripping off the Bulldog's protective knee brace and then clamping on the figure 4 to that exposed knee.
While the Bulldog screamed in pain, referee Earl Hebner stepped in and would eventually stop the match. The Bulldog never submitted, but Shawn Michaels would win the match after the referee stopped it due to the fact that the Bulldog could not continue. Michaels refused to relinquish the figure 4, bringing the Bulldog's wife Diana in the ring, where she was promptly assaulted by China.
Well, as you would figure, that drew the attention of the rest of the Hart Foundation, who came to the aid of the Bulldog and their sister Diana.
After that confrontation was done, one thing remains the same. The Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, is the new European champion.
Well, later here on WWF New York, The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels get it on again.
And we'll also see tag team action when the Godwinns take on Vader and the Patriot.
And when we return, this is the moment you've been waiting for. We're going to show you Vince McMahon getting his. Don't you dare go away.
It was an event that rocked the UK. One night only. The World Wrestling Federation's biggest superstars kick some bum in jolly old England.
This capacity crowd is pumped.
Now, for the first time in the States, you can enjoy this historic pay-per-view spectacular. One night only. The home video. See America's Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, incur the wrath of an entire nation by defeating the UK's own British Bulldog to capture the European Championship. One night only. To order, call 815-734-1161 or send a check or money order to the address on your screen. It's only $19.95 plus shipping and handling. One night only is available for a limited time only, so call now.
Welcome back, folks, to WWF New York. James E., I could not believe Stone Cold Steve Austin's actions at Madison Square Garden last Monday night.
Brother, just when you think you've seen everything from Stone Cold, he manages to come up with something that's even further out than that.
Well, James E., Owen Hart was in the ring proclaiming his Intercontinental Tournament victory when out of nowhere came the rattlesnake.
assault and battery, Ross. He assaulted a police officer. What's the matter with you? What's the matter with you? Get a hold of yourself. Arrest him. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. After they put him in the slammer. Listen. Don't you know? People care. In the World Wrestling Federation, we care. They care. They care about you. That's all it is. And you just got to go with it. In other words, you got to work within the system. That's all you got to do. Is simply work within the system.
You know as well as I do that this is what I do for a living. This is all that I do, and can't nobody tell I ain't the best in the damn world. Don't even say nothing. Don't say nothing. Sit here and tell me to work within the system. You ain't the one sitting on your in the house like I am. But if that's what it takes to make you or the World Wrestling Federation happy, hell, I feel like Cool Hand Luke. I'll work within your stupid little system.
That's all these people ask.
I appreciate the fact that you and the World Wrestling Federation care. And I also appreciate the fact that, hell, you can kiss my
Truth Commission with the Jackal. That's the Jackal right there who has supplanted the Commandant as the head honcho within the Truth Commission.
And wait till you get a load of this guy. I spent a couple of minutes talking to him, and he's sick.
Sniper and Recon.
Well, you gotta wonder what's gonna happen this Monday night on Raw. Is Stone Cold Steve Austin going to be fired by Vince McMahon? And Jamesy, if that does occur, which a lot of folks think will happen, what do you think Steve Austin's payback will be to the head honcho?
Well, let's put it this way. If he gave him the Stone Cold Stunner when Vince McMahon was trying to do Steve Austin a favor, then if McMahon fires him on national TV, I think Steve Austin might be liable to chew him up and eat him.
And Chainz representing the Disciples of Apocalypse to take on Sniper and Recon of the Truth Commission.
Boy, the DOA, some big, tough customers. They're going to have their hands full, especially if the interrogator gets involved in this one.
The interrogator, the 7-foot, wait a minute, on the outside, and we are off and running here. Phenomenal crowd on hand, and we're glad that you're with us here at WWF New York. And Chainz just knocked down Recon.
Chainz, unbelievable quickness for a man 280, 290. He can move. Look at him. He's sprinting across that ring. And he never tires out, JR.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. This matchup, I don't see how it can last very long with as big as these guys are and with this smash mouth style that we're seeing. Not going to be a technical masterpiece. And Crush again knocking down Recon. And thus far, the Truth Commission has yet to be pinned in the WWF.
But boy, with the addition of this Jackal, it's going to be very interesting. I understand the Jackal was once booted out of the Truth Commission by the Commandant, and he came back to score a coup because the Jackal convinced these guys the Commandant was too military. Jackal doesn't believe in doing things by the book. He believes in doing them any way they need to be to get done. And I think that you can see that Jackal is a guy who definitely will talk a great fight as long as some other guys are willing to fight it.
Sniper now brought up for the pile driver by Crush. That could easily be it. 1, 2, and a near fall. Great crowd on hand, just as we expect we will have in the Nassau Coliseum on Friday night, October the 24th. The next live WWF event in the Tri-State area, Nassau Coliseum. There's a belly-to-belly suplex and a lateral press. And much to the man's credit, he's able to kick out, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to WWF New York. Sniper and Recon taking on Chainz and Crush of the DOA. So it is a Truth Commission DOA tag team matchup here. And right now, Recon has Chainz in trouble.
And boy, I'm amazed every time I see this Recon. He must have a 48-inch vertical leap. The guy's legs are like steel springs.
You know, you look at these 4 DOA members, and I believe they could take care of the New York Giant defensive line problems. Lateral press there by Recon.
Well, the people getting behind him, DOA.
We mentioned earlier, the next time the WWF is going to be in the Tri-State area will be in the Nassau Coliseum on Friday night, October the 24th, as you get a look at the Jackal. And, of course, we'll be back in the hallowed halls of Madison Square Garden on Saturday, November the 15th. Oh! Pretty good collision right there.
Both bend down.
Trying to make it more impact than Al Sharpton at a buffet table.
Now that's impact.
And there's a tag made. And we got Crush in. We go. And Sniper. Sniper's a big man. If Crush is 6'8", Sniper's got to be 6'5", maybe 6'6".
Well, right now he's only 12 inches tall because he's flat on his back on the mat. And Crush is cooking.
There's going to be some serious cooking going on pay-per-view from St. Louis, Missouri's Kiel Center. Folks, it's October the 5th, Sunday, October the 5th, and the Jackal interjecting himself here. The referee's call for the disqualification, and we've got a fight.
Boy, do we. We got a Donnybrook. We got a Pier Sixer. We've got a bench clear. JR, they're fighting all over the place.
The DOA, they're gaining some dominance here. No one can get that 7-foot interrogator off his feet.
And you saw where the Jackal went. He went right to the interrogator when things got rough. And I don't think Commandant would have hugged the man like that.
The DOA may not be through. The DOA wants some more of the Truth Commission. Well, ladies and gentlemen, still to come, we got tag team action as Vader and the Patriot team up to face the Godwinns.
And when we return, we're going to show you how Shawn Michaels took advantage of an unsuspecting Undertaker. Don't mess with the Prince of Darkness.
Thanks for staying up late with us on WWF New York. Let's take you back to the War Zone this past Monday night, where Shawn Michaels and his buddies set up the Undertaker.
The Undertaker is afraid of Shawn Michaels.
I don't think so.
Well, we've sat here for 2 minutes, and the dead man has not shown his carcass.
He's here. The Undertaker is here in this arena in Madison Square Garden.
Well, why is he not coming out?
Well, why don't you go ask him? He'll be here momentarily.
Like I said, this may be the biggest mistake Shawn Michaels has ever made.
Oh, there he is, the Phenom.
And he ain't wasting any time.
And, wait a minute. Wait, there's Helmsley from behind. And Michaels with a chair out of it. Another shot.
seen the last of Shawn Michaels yet. Immediately after Bret Hart's victory over Goldust, he struck again.
Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels just nailed Bret Hart. Michaels now attacking the Hitman. The fight is on. Here they go. Here comes Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Here comes China. It's 2-on-1. Here comes Owen Hart. Look at this. Owen Hart attacking Helmsley. The Bulldog with his injured leg limping to the ring. Here comes Ravishing Rip Rude. Oh my God, right in the leg. It's Michaels and his gang against the Hart Foundation. There's Jim Neidhart. Neidhart nails Rude. And here comes The Undertaker. There's The Undertaker. Look out. The Undertaker cleaning house. Oh no! The Undertaker has Michaels and Hart. A double choke slam! A double choke slam!
What a matchup it's going to be, and especially to the sign, steel cage with a top on it. The Undertaker meets Shawn Michaels on pay-per-view at Bad Blood, Sunday, October the 5th, and the winner will meet the WWF champion at the Survivor Series. It's next Sunday, live at 7 o'clock, exclusively on pay-per-view. Oh, wait a minute. What is he doing here? What are you doing out here?
How you doing, King? It's good to see you. Please sit down. Lend some class and some culture to the program here. I wanted to make sure, JR, that we had somebody out here who would help me tell the truth during these matches, especially this one.
And you know what, JR? If you would take that silly hat off, I'd wear a crown. I'd let you wear this crown for this, just for this match.
Would you really?
So you wouldn't look so stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't want to look stupid.
Right.
Hey, are you trying to knock somebody, JR? He's trying to knock you, King.
What else is new?
Well, it's going to be Jesse James against Flash Funk. And I don't understand. What is your reason for being here, King? It's always good to see you, but
Well, because
not really.
I wanted to do Jim a favor and come by and add a little bit of class to the show. Give him somebody that he can sort of, you know,
On his level.
relate to.
On his level, basically.
So that he don't have to come down to your level. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I understand.
And plus, as a matter of fact, look at this. Flash Funk. Now that I see this idiot coming out here, I got a few choice words I'd like to say about him.
You know, maybe some of your motivation might be the fact that your son, Brian Christopher, lost to this man.
First of all, let me get one thing straight right now, Ross. Brian Christopher, I don't care how many times you say it or Vince McMahon says it, is not my son. Do you understand that? If he was, I'd be proud to claim an athlete like Brian Christopher. He is a great wrestler. You got to admit that, right?
He certainly is.
What part of no don't you understand? He's told you that numerous times.
Right.
That Brian Christopher is not related to him.
Well, apparently I have a problem with that statement
And
being
you know who's
totally true.
You know who else is perpetuating that rumor?
Who's that?
Flash Funk. I'm telling you
that's
right. He got a win over Brian Christopher, and he went around, he called every newspaper, every radio station, every TV station. He said, hey, I beat Jerry Lawler's son. Now what's, he's a nut.
Well, that was big in the Memphis commercial appeal.
Wait a minute.
From what I understand, it was a questionable win anyway, the way he
Without a
did
doubt.
it. And I don't think it's anything that's got to brag about.
I thought you were going to say it was a questionable pregnancy. I
what?
beg your pardon. We can't talk about that here.
What in the world are you?
Jesse James and Flash Funk one-on-one in this matchup. And certainly a huge throng here with us this weekend. A nice elbow by Jesse James.
Oh, whoa! Jesse James has a little attitude today, you know.
I sort of like that change of heart that he's had.
I like that. As a matter of fact, I think that Jesse James got to be the heavy favorite in this match against Flash Funk, just because Flash Funk couldn't beat a quality athlete on his best day. He had to resort to cheating when he got that victory, if you want to call it that, over Brian Christopher.
What did he do to cheat to beat Brian Christopher? I was just wondering that.
Well, King was right there. He remembers it better than I do. You tell him, King.
Well, first of all, he did all of these illegal maneuvers off the top rope. Second of all, on the 3 count, he held Brian Christopher's height in one hand and had his hair in the other hand.
Yeah.
And pulling Flash's hair is a challenging maneuver. I have to agree with that.
No, Brian Christopher.
He was pulling Brian Christopher. He had one hand in his tights, he had one hand in his hair, and with the other hand, He was pulling Brian's boots.
Right. Well, then that big mouth of his tried to shout it all over the world that he beat Brian Christopher, who he claims is Jerry Lawler's son. He's an idiot. He's got a big mouth. Look how big his mouth is. He's got enough room for another set of teeth in there.
Folks, we're certainly gearing up for October the 5th. St. Louis, the Kiel Center, the site of Bad Blood. What a pay-per-view spectacular it's going to be Sunday, October the 5th. Mark that date on your calendar. King's going to be in St. Louis.
Oh, yeah, I'll be there. Oh, that was beautiful.
A lot of great legends on hand in St. Louis at the Kiel. And a knockdown by Jesse James. And Jesse, who does have a little bit of an attitude here this week. There's a cover. The leg is hooked and Flash Funk.
You know, when that attitude started back the 1st of September, Labor Day telethon, he pledged a lot of money to the Jerry Lewis telethon, then didn't send it in. I love it when people do that.
That's a horrible thing to do. Did he really do that?
Yes. I think it's great. That was pretty great, too.
Front face lock into the suplex. Nice move by Jesse James. And Jesse now going for a cover. And Jesse gets a near fall on Flash Funk.
I promise you, I hope Jesse James wins, because I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to call every television station, radio station, newspaper in the country and tell them that Flash Funk got beat.
Yeah, there you go. Spread that around.
Right.
You know, they say the cream always rises to the top, but so in some cases does scum. Sooner or later, even a blind squirrel will find a nut. But just because Flash Funk won one match doesn't mean that he's going to win the whole race.
Flash Funk now has Jesse James in trouble in this contest. Well, what do you think about the big stipulation added to that Hell in the Cell, King? The winner of the Shawn Michaels Undertaker match will meet the WWF champion at Survivor Series.
Well, all that does is make the match mean even more, as if it covered.
He almost had him.
You think that Shawn Michaels is right in saying there's a conspiracy in the WWF to eliminate him altogether by putting him in a contraption, a device like this cage with a roof on it?
Well, certainly those comments have some merit. I mean, who do you think those kind of conditions favor?
The Undertaker.
That's right.
The Undertaker, no doubt.
I mean, you know, Ray Charles could see that. I guess that's why he's complaining.
Well, Flash Funk now up on top.
Look out!
Big drop kick, right off the top.
No way!
There's some hang time right there, and a lateral press, and somewhat of a lax press. I thought Flash had enough in that drop kick to put Jesse away. But
Did you see Flash Funk? He stopped to point at Jerry the King Lawler. He's trying to hot dog.
He's an idiot.
He's trying to showboat instead of paying
Come on,
attention to
Jesse.
business.
Oh, come on, Jesse. No!
Spinning martial arts kick by Flash Funk. That could be it.
No.
And Jesse James keeps fighting.
Woo.
Flash Funk may be preparing to launch himself again. Air Funk.
Well, he is definitely hitting Double J, Jesse James, with everything but the kitchen sink. Every kind of high-impact maneuver that he can think of. But so far, look out! Wow!
Oh, Flash with a moonsault leg drop. Will that be all? 1, 2, 3. No, just
Terrific!
2.
Terrific! Oh, look at this idiot show off.
What else can he hit him with?
What's me doing to him?
What else can he
calm
hit
down here, King.
Jesse James with?
Wait a minute.
Hey. Uh-oh.
Don't do it, King. Oh! Now, what did you do that for?
So like I was saying, Jerry, it's great of you to notice that maneuver when he trips there.
King, I've told you this before. He is so clumsy he'd trip over a cordless phone. He's an imbecile. He's an idiot. And he's going to get just what he deserves. Look out!
There we go.
Paddle slam.
Yes! Yes!
And that'll be it. I hope you're proud of yourself, King.
Speaking of cordless phones, do you have yours, Jimmy? I got to make some calls. Telephone. I'm going to call the television, the radio, the newspaper, and tell them that Flash Funk got beat. I guarantee you the next time Brian Christopher gets in the ring with him, he'll whip him like a dog.
Well, like father, like son here.
Hey, JR, that's the greatest method of communication in the country today. Telephone, telegraph, and tell the king.
Well, I'll tell you this. If Lawler keeps up this conduct, he's going to need a good lawyer.
He's got one. Lawler's got a lawyer. His name is Laird.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you shut up? Ladies and gentlemen, still to come, you're going to see some tag team action when Vader and the Patriot join forces to take on those mean old nasty Godwinns. Welcome back, everybody. Bad Blood in Your House is presented by PlayStation. A bit of advice for gamers everywhere. Never underestimate the power of PlayStation. And next Sunday live on pay-per-view at 7 o'clock, It's going to be quite the confrontation when Vader and the Patriot team up to face the WWF champion Bret the Hitman Hart and the British Bulldog in a flag match.
Well, that's right, JR. Each country's flag, Canada and the U.S., will be on a pole in opposite corners of the ring. The first man to get their flag and wave it in the air wins for their country.
Approaching the ring, accompanied by Uncle Cletus from Pérez, Arkansas, at a total combined weight of 583 pounds, Henry and Phineas, the Godwinns.
You think Uncle Cletus has had his shots?
I'll tell you this, he's got some interesting stains. I'm not sure whether he's been trapping or fishing or hunting or what. Speaking of flags, I'm sure that they're going to be waving their flag high in the air over this match because they're going to have to, because Patriot and Vader are going to have the crowd on their side.
54 pounds, the Patriot and the man they call Vader.
I'm sure some folks are a little bit skeptical that Vader and the Patriot will be able to peaceably coexist because, quite frankly, Vader has never peaceably coexisted with anybody in his life.
Not a single other human being, JR, has Vader ever been able to get along with. I can say this, they've got common enemies. That's their only bond. If Patriot holds up his end of the bargain, they should be all right. But if he feels, if Vader feels let down in any way, then he'll lash out against anybody.
In addition to the flag match we discussed on pay-per-view next Sunday, the Godwinns will also meet the Headbangers, Thrasher and Mosh, who have become extremely popular WWF Tag Champions, and that will be for Tag Team Gold on pay-per-view next Sunday at 7 o'clock.
Well, not only have the Headbangers become popular, they've also become an entirely different team with the newfound confidence of their first Tag Team Championship being the WWF Tag Team title. But don't forget, the Godwinns hold a non-title victory over the Headbangers, and they're looking to repeat that when the title's on the line and it really counts.
Vader at 458 pounds, locking up with Henry Godwinn, and Henry's got to be well over 300 pounds himself. Both these guys rivaling Bill Parcells as far as girth is concerned.
Up swing and a miss, the thumb in the eye.
That's a pretty good counter move. Thumb to the eye, one of the favorite holds of Cactus Jack, who made his Madison Square Garden debut this past Monday night in that Falls Count Anywhere, Falls Count Anywhere matchup. And what a clothesline by big old Hank Godwinn, knocking down Vader.
Boy, and you can safely say that Madison Square Garden's seen a lot, but they have never seen some of the things they saw from Cactus Jack. It was unbelievable.
Henry Godwinn is relentless in his attack, a physical attack on the man they call Vader, and Henry tags in his brother Phineas. Ooh, now I hear that Uncle Cletus is not only their uncle, but their first cousin. And if any of you folks out there in New York City can figure that one out, somebody just drop us a card and let us know how that works.
Well, it's real easy. You see, I've been involved in that situation before. Now,
there's
what
a
happened?
tag, never mind. The genealogy lesson from our resident historian.
Just trying to help.
Well, they can write for your newsletter or something. The Patriot in, knocking down Phineas, and Phineas makes a counter, but it's countered back into a hip lock by the Patriot. Going upstairs with a drop kick, and the former All-Japan Wrestling star, the former All-American offensive lineman at South Carolina, building an advantage here. You know he's the biggest gamecock of them all.
And Patriot now, he is cooking outside. And wait a minute, he's a one-man gang. He's fighting off both Henry and Phineas, the whole Godwinn family. And I'll tell you something, JR, talking about family and family values, the Goldust and Marlena family at Bad Blood's going to be a little bit different twist. Dude Love is going to take on Brian Pillman. If Dude Love beats Pillman, then Pillman will have to face Goldust in a no DQ match immediately afterwards, and Goldust will be handcuffed to the ring post while the Dudester and Pillman go at it.
And I got to believe that Dude Love is going to rise to the occasion, as he always does on pay-per-view, and take care of Brian Pillman. Hey, that's a pretty good counter by Phineas Godwinn. You know, the interesting thing about that situation with Dude Love and Pillman next Sunday on pay-per-view is that if Dude does win the matchup, and I suspect he will, Goldust will then face Pillman immediately in a anything goes, no disqualification fight.
No delay, no rest. They're going to jump in the ring right then and go at it. And I tell you, I got to wonder who Marlena's going to be rooting for. I mean, this is starting to get complicated.
Well, I think she's going to be rooting for her husband.
Well, I'll tell you what, Pillman has done a lot for her. He's done some makeovers on her. Jenny Jones couldn't touch with a 15-foot pole.
Well, I don't find it very nice that Marlena's been forced to succumb to that psychotic madman, Brian Pillman's whims, you know, pierce this body part and get another tattoo. And I mean, she's going to be marked for life after this experience.
Both mentally and physically, but she's looking like a fine, upstanding young lady. And right now, speaking of fine and upstanding, the most upstanding citizens of Bitters, Arkansas are doing a number on America's #1 Patriot.
The Patriot now fighting back, landing those blows to the midsection of Phineas Godwinn, and Phineas raking the face again.
You can't hardly miss Phineas's midsection, but it seems to be able to absorb a lot of punishment.
Pretty good jawbreaker there. May put the knot on the old noggin of Phineas Godwinn. In any event, the Godwinns have the advantage.
And wait a minute now, what's Henry doing? Oh, the stars and bars coming into play and into very good use here as the Patriot fighting for air.
Well, that stars and bars is offensive anyway. The Godwinns' odor is offensive. And the actions recently of Uncle Cletus is offensive. And I'm offended. There's a lateral press.
Well, don't offend me.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. Don't go away.
Offended.
Now on the WWF Superstar line, will Vince McMahon fire Stone Cold Steve Austin? Call option 3 of the Ross Report and find out why JR thinks Vince will fire Stone Cold. Just call 1-900-737-4WWF. The call costs $1.49 per minute. Kids under 18 must have parents' permission before calling.
Welcome back, everybody, to WWF New York. It's the Patriot and Vader meeting the Godwinns. The Patriot just knocked down with that knee to the midsection by big Phineas Godwinn. And Phineas makes the tag to Henry. Boy, we have seen some intense action in this, and when you talk about intensity, you got to wonder how intense will it be when Vince McMahon calls out Stone Cold Steve Austin this Monday night on Raw. And Austin very well could be fired this Monday night, and that would be the last time that we would see Stone Cold Steve Austin in the WWF. And if that is the case, James E., what do you think Austin's answer to Vince McMahon's going to be?
Well, McMahon tried to help him, and he dropped him on his head, so I have to think, JR, as I told you privately, Steve Austin will whoop Vince McMahon's hind keister if he gets fired on national television.
Another big matchup this Monday night on Raw will be a semifinal match in the Intercontinental title tournament. Ahmed Johnson and Farouk will determine who will meet Owen Hart in the finals. That'll be this Monday, that semifinal matchup on Raw. Sunset flip, is that no? Referee was detained about a second, maybe two, and long enough for Phineas Godwinn to regroup, shall we say.
And Farouk's got new life in the tournament because Ken Shamrock defeated him to advance, but Shamrock suffered a torn lung, internal injuries, and could not continue, so Farouk was named as his replacement.
Yeah, and I don't know how sound a decision that Commissioner Slaughter made on that one. You know, some folks are speculating that Slaughter's getting a little intoxicated with the power of his position.
Hey, JR, it's the same rules that they use in the Ultimate Fights, therefore Shamrock ought to be used to it. He's benefited from that ruling in the past. Now he's penalized by it. He's got no room to gripe.
You know, James E., another thing I heard about this Monday's Raw broadcast is the fact that Shawn Michaels and Hunter Hearst Helmsley have requested some interview time, and I hear they got a lot they want to get off their chest.
Well, I would imagine they do. They've got everybody in the world mad at them. They've got the Hart Foundation mad at them. They've got The Undertaker mad at them. They've got everybody all upset with their actions and their controversial outspokenness.
Phineas deviated from his game plan, went upstairs, now goes downstairs. Vader's got the tag, and Vader is just rocking and rolling here.
He's got Cletus. He's got Uncle Cletus. Stop. No. Oh, they stopped short. Thank goodness.
Oh, Uncle Cletus just got knocked off the apron. Look at Vader, absolutely dominant. Listen to this crowd.
He's going for
Vader bomb.
He got
the Vader bomb, and that's over. Nobody gets up from the Vader bomb.
Here are your winners, the
Vader and Patriot. JR on a roll, ready to go to Bad Blood.
What a matchup it will be on pay-per-view next Sunday. take another look at the Vader bomb.
450 pounds across Mr. Godwinn. Nobody gets up from it. But will Vader and the Patriot be able to wave Old Glory in the flag match next Sunday?
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to join us this Monday night on Raw. For James E. Cornette, I'm Jim Ross. So long, everybody.